welcome back to Crypto Saving Expert, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that you know exactly what is happening. It is again just me here for today's video, but we've got a huge amount of news to unwrap today, and we have some interesting analysis to look at on the Bitcoin chart as well. So definitely stay tuned in. We've got people saying good morning in the chat. Thank you very much for joining us. We have the CPI data coming out in just under 2 hours' time, and that is expected to create some volatility for the price of Bitcoin. So let's take a look at CoinMarketCap now. We have Bitcoin at $18,187 and Ethereum at $1,397. So we have this CPI data coming out right now. Now it's predicted that we're going to see about 6.5. If it's actually lower than this, then we are expecting to see a nice move to the upside. If it's as expected or it's higher, then we may see some volatility and potential movements to the downside. That's what we are seeing here. Player one said, it's noon here, check tap price. We will cover that later in today's video. Hello, Ersham. Hello, Hamzak. Hello, Sean. Thank you all very much for joining in today's chat. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart to see what is happening over here. Now, I shared this analysis on my own channel yesterday, but I'd like to share it here as well. Here we are looking at the RSI on the monthly chart, and you can see this purple line is the RSI line, and this yellow line is a moving average of that RSI. So what that means is at any point on this line, this is a 14-period simple moving average, I believe. So at any point on this yellow line, it shows the average price, the average RSI of the last 14 periods, so of the last 14 months, because we're looking at the monthly chart there. And when we are analyzing this, you can see that every time the purple line has crossed up over the yellow, that has been when the bottom has been in. So here you can see on these green lines that I've drawn down here, I hope they are clear on the chart for you, that you can see them clearly enough. These lines are the bottoms for each bear market. So this is the bear market 1, 2, and 3. And you can see here, this is the bottom. When the purple crossed over the yellow, that meant the bottom was in. Purple crossed over the yellow, the bottom was already in. It looks like the purple line is about to cross over that yellow line in the coming months. So that is an indicator to me that either we have already bottomed or we are very close to and will do in the next couple of months. Don't want to go into too much analysis today because we have a lot of news stories to discuss. So let's get straight into them. But before we do, let's set a like goal for today's video. Should we try and we got 70 yesterday. Now that was very high. We've got 17 so far. Let's go for 75. I would be very impressed if we could do that again. Let's carry on with today's news. There we have 52 viewers right now. Thank you very much to everybody that has tuned in. Let's take a look at the news. So first of all, we have the outlook for crypto is not horrible nor great, says Mike Novogratz. Every time I say his name, I think of that Martini guy's old intro song. Despite last year's nerve-wracking events in the cryptocurrency sector, the Chief Executive Officer of Galaxy Digital, Mike Novogratz, is optimistic that the emerging digital asset market won't go away. However, he warned of the ongoing DCG, Genesis, and Gemini saga as another possible overhang that could hit the market in the coming months. So we're seeing this whole DCG, Gemini, Genesis story unwrap. DCG is the parent company to Genesis, and Genesis is a lending company. And Gemini, when you were staking your tokens in the Gemini cryptocurrency exchange by the Winklevoss twins, they were lending those funds to Genesis to earn that interest. But now Genesis have not got those funds to return to the Gemini users. And this is causing a public display over on Twitter. They're doing this publicly. They're discussing how they can resolve this issue. And Cameron Winklevoss is saying that the CEO of DCG needs to be fired. We did cover that in yesterday's live stream. There's a lot more news to come on that, though, I believe. But Mike Novogratz has also commented on Coinbase's layoffs. So Coinbase are laying off a substantial amount of staff right now, but he said, as I think CEOs, Brian Armstrong at Coinbase and other rational CEOs are doing the right thing. This is a time in the markets where he's not sure what the future holds. So by laying off some staff, it means that you have more of a chance of surviving this cryptocurrency winter. Now, obviously, I've mentioned previously at the start of this video that I do do believe that the bottom is in, or very close to being in within a short time frame, within the next couple of months. But that is not Mike Novogratz's opinion, so that is why he is trying to hold out his company for as long as possible during this bearish period. So thank you very much for everybody that is tuned in. We are now already at 32 likes, and the like goal is 75 for today's video. So please make sure to continue liking and subscribing and coming back every single day, every single morning between 11 and 12. We go live here and talk about the latest cryptocurrency news. We have a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing these videos, so I'm glad you all enjoy watching them. Otherwise, it'd be a complete waste of time and I wouldn't be allowed to do them anymore. Taking a look at the next article we have here, we have Voyager Digital secures initial court approval for Binance's $1 billion acquisition deal. So this got pushed back a little bit by the regulators. I think we'll be able to see this in the video. The New York Bankruptcy Court has now granted the firm initial permission to sell its crypto assets to Binance.us as part of its restructuring plan to repay its creditors. So Voyager Digital went insolvent last year after 3 Arrows Capital collapsed, and they had a lot of exposure to 3 Arrows Capital, and 3 Arrows Capital collapsed because Luna collapsed. Now there's been a whole domino effect within cryptocurrency in 2022. We're still seeing the repercussions of this, but we're also seeing things be done that mean we can move forward. So Voyager disclosed in a press release on December the 19th that Binance.us offered the highest and best bid for its assets valued at around $1 billion. The firm plans to return customers' funds in accordance with the court's approved disbursement plan. So Binance.us are buying Voyager's assets, and then they can refund some of those users. So Voyager to transfer customers to Binance.us. During the hearing, Voyager's attorney disclosed that the company was responding to concerns raised over the holidays by the US Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States regarding its deal with Binance.us for national security risks. CFIUS is responsible for policing foreign investments coming into the United States. The committee said in a court filing last month that it reviewing the buyout deal noted that the outcome of the investigation could hinder both parties from completing the transactions, affecting the timing of completion or relevant terms of the proposal. Suspect said the crypto brokerage firm was prepared to address any issues that would make CFIUS oppose its deal with its Binance subsidiary. The acquisition entails a $20 million cash payment and an agreement to transfer Voyager's customers to Binance.us. The attorney noted that customers would access their funds from Binance once the deal is closed. That martini, guys, in the chat, Jess, your voice sounds rough. It's improved since yesterday. Yesterday, honestly, it was awful, but we are getting better, hopefully. By tomorrow, we'll feel a little bit better. I've got a hot drink here to try and soothe it every time it gets a little too croaky. Let's carry on now and look at the next article. But before we do, we are currently at 38 likes, and the like goal for today is 75. So please make sure to continue hitting the like button and subscribe. Taking a look at the next article, we have Binance to increase its workforce by 15 to 30% in 2023 in preparation for the next bull market. Binance, the largest cryptocurrency exchange in terms of users and trade volume, plans to undertake a hiring spree in 2023. He has estimated that the company's workforce would grow by 15 to 30% this year. He added that Binance had grown from 3,000 to almost 8,000 people in 2022, and planned expansion was in preparation for the next bull run. CZ's plans for Binance to increase its staff come after when other crypto exchanges are downsizing amidst the crypto bear market and the FTX contagion. In November, US-based Kraken announced that it was reducing its workforce by 30%. In late November, Kraken made public plans to exit the Japanese market due to rising costs due to the crypto drawdown. And on January the 10th, Coinbase disclosed a second round of layoffs that would affect 950 of its staff. So, we are seeing this within the cryptocurrency industry. Obviously, I've just said we're seeing a lot of layoffs right now. It feels if this is the bottom, then I feel like they'll be starting to hire people a lot quicker again. When we're in the full swing of the bull market, all of these companies need as many people as possible to pull together to bring in as much profits as possible. But right now, everything's low. So it's not feeling that good. We're seeing here there will be a decentralized exchange greater than Binance in the next 10 to 15 years. During the conference, CZ also predicted that a new and bigger decentralized exchange would emerge, and that would be bigger than Binance. Therefore, Binance must plan for an ever-changing future in the crypto markets, lest the exchange ends up like Kodak, which was complacent in the photography industry. We have one business that is pretty big, pretty profitable, but it is not going to last forever. We don't want to become the Kodak, he continued. We want to disrupt ourselves rather than other people disrupting us. So that is that article. Not much to add on that one, really. We're just seeing a little bit of reorganization within all of the different cryptocurrency exchanges. Let's move on to the next article. Not too much on this one either. Binance registers with Sweden's FSA, its seventh regulatory approval in the EU. We're just seeing Binance expand and expand and expand and prepare for the next bull market in the best way possible, so that next time around they are allowed in many different jurisdictions. They have all of the staff on board ready to hit the ground running and make a huge amount of profits. I expect Binance to be here for a very, very long time, despite all of the FUD that we've seen over the last couple of months. Taking a look back in on the chat, people are saying if you want Bitcoin to moon, you have to hit the likes. Correct. That is the rules of these live streams. We are currently at 42 likes for today, and the like goal is 75. So please make sure to continue liking and subscribing to help us grow this YouTube channel so we can spread the cryptocurrency news to as many people as possible, and then people may start to realize that now is a perfect time to accumulate, and we might help push the price up. Hopefully Bitcoin will be up and up and up, and we will have more people learning about the industry and being educated in the industry, because that makes a huge difference. And it's so important, because every single bull run we see people come in that just want to chase money quick. They come in, they get wrecked, and they go out. But if we actually manage to educate these people, maybe they'll stay in for the long run, and we can grow the space even further and see more adoption. And that is why we're making Crypto Saving Expert. So make sure to go to cryptosavingexpert.com, go to the sign up button there and sign up, because you will be one of the first people to use the site. And next time we have Jordan on this live stream, I'm sure he's going to spread a very big announcement for us all. But for now, let's continue with the news and see what is happening next. So we have FTX has recovered over $5 billion in cash and liquid assets. We have located over $5 billion in cash, liquid cryptocurrency, and liquid investment securities measured at petition date value. The attorney also stated that the $5 billion assets discovered do not include the $425 million cryptocurrency in possession of the Securities Commission of the Bahamas. While the announcement entails a headway from the previous $1 billion assets recovered by FTX's new leadership and attorneys as of December 22, the exact amount of FTX's shortfall is unknown. And even with the $5 billion assets discovered, the attorney said the assets are probably still behind what it owed the customers. The amount of shortfall is not yet clear. It will depend on the size of the claims pool and our recovery efforts. But every week, we come closer to completing the work necessary to estimate recoveries for the purposes of a plan of reorganization. So this is a major step to FTX's reorganization, and FTX, a crypto exchange that faced financial difficulties, we all know that. We don't need to remind people of that. Filed for bankruptcy in November last year. Sam Bankman-Fried orchestrating a major fraud that may have resulted in significant losses for investors, customers, and lenders. But overall, this is positive news. We are seeing more cash flow, and this means that users may end up having some of their money back. It may be a very, very long process. We've seen Mt. Gox. Did Mt. Gox go down in around 2014, I believe? And now this year may be the year that people actually get reimbursed. But we saw in news later last week that the point at which people were going to get their money back was pushed back another 2 months. This may happen again. So maybe a while before FTX users do get reimbursed, but it's looking more and more likely that it is actually going to happen, and they're going to get a substantial amount, maybe not their full amount, but some funds back in their pockets. Taking a look at the next article now. Let's see how many likes we're on before we continue with the articles. We are currently on 47 likes, and the like goal is 75. So please make sure to continue pressing the like button and subscribe. Take a look now at the next article here. A Cosmos-based DeFi protocol has raised $5.4 million at $70 million valuation. Under the current market downturn, Quasar Finance, a Cosmos-based DeFi protocol, has raised $11.5 million to develop their interchain decentralized asset management protocol, which aims users to create vaults and activates strategies capable of using automation to deploy assets across multiple blockchains. So we're actually seeing funds being raised during this bearish period, and that is the main point of this article. You can see in more detail if you want to see about this over on our Medium page, and soon you'll be able to see them on our website as well when we do go live, which is coming up very quickly. So make sure to go to cryptosavingexpert.com and put your email in this sign up page. The next article we have here is 5 associations form alliance to regulate the UK's crypto future. According to a press release, the association, dubbed the UK Forum for Digital Currencies, will help develop fair policies and regulations for digital currencies in the country. My voice is getting a little croaky again, so I'm just going to have a sip of my drink. Right, hopefully that's a little bit better. Members of the UK FDC include the City of London Corporation, Digital Pound Foundation, the Payments Association, the City UK, and UK Finance, each having specific roles to play in the alliance. The UK government believes that the growth and rapid adoption of cryptos are gradually changing how society sees and uses money. And the press release reads, while these are risks, the UK FDC recognises this growing interest and the adoption of new forms of digital money across the globe, and how it will open many opportunities in the UK to remain competitive in fintech while leading financial innovation with right regulatory framework. So we've seen before, we spoke about this in yesterday's live stream, the UK is trying to become a cryptocurrency hub. We saw this, they said this over a year ago now, I would say. We've seen them hiring in the last couple of days. We've seen a ad where they're trying to hire a blockchain auditor so they can see issues within different smart contracts and decentralized applications so that we can stop fraud and we can stop hacking and things like that. But the group will aim to mitigate the actual risks, alleviate the perceived risks through education and the ability to advocate for appropriate policy and proportionate regulation. This includes the development of common terminology which embraces existing definitions used in the sector into a single lexicon. So we're seeing the UK try their very best at becoming a cryptocurrency hotspot. I'm not convinced it's going to happen. A lot of other people aren't convinced it's going to happen. We're very slow. It's not easy to set up a cryptocurrency company in the UK. But fingers crossed, it would be a lovely thing to see. We may see more. We have seen a little bit of news about this in the last couple of weeks. So hopefully it does continue. Taking a look at the next article here, Samsung to launch a Bitcoin ETF in Hong Kong. So the Hong Kong branch of Samsung's leading investment firm, Samsung Asset Management, is planning to launch a Bitcoin futures ETF on January the 13th, known as Samsung Bitcoin Futures Active ETF. So Samsung said its Bitcoin ETF would enable investors in Hong Kong and across Asian markets to conveniently gain exposure to the leading cryptocurrency assets. So this is essentially when a traditional investor can gain exposure to Bitcoin by buying into an ETF that has the value pegged to Bitcoin. According to reports, the ETF will primarily invest in the CME's Bitcoin futures and some CME micro Bitcoin futures in some cases. Hong Kong is the only market in Asia where Bitcoin futures ETFs are listed and traded in the institutional market. It will be a new option for investors who are interested in Bitcoin as a competitive product that reflects their experience in risk management and risk management. So when people invest in things like this, and although it's in the traditional space, you don't own your Bitcoin. You have the rights to the Bitcoin. You don't own it. You don't have your Bitcoin private key, and not your key, not your crypto. We already know all about this, but these people can gain access to the cryptocurrency markets through traditional methods. They don't have to worry about looking after their private keys, the security measures, and learning about how all of that works. These are people that invest in Bitcoin ETFs are traditionally people that are already in the traditional finance markets. They want to get exposure to Bitcoin. They don't want to learn how. They don't want to learn how to store it safely. They just want that exposure in their portfolio. So a Bitcoin ETF is a great way to do so, and now it's available in Hong Kong thanks to Samsung. Taking a look at the likes for today, let's see how many we are on so far. We are currently at 50 likes. Thank you so much to everybody who has liked. Let's continue to our goal of trying to get to 75 by the end of today's live stream. Let's carry on with the next article now. We have artificial intelligence and its role in the metaverse. So we've seen a lot of talk recently about ChatGPT. This has been flooding Twitter recently. It is a very insane piece of software that you can just ask it a question. Honestly, you can ask this thing anything and it comes out with the answer that you need. At the moment, it only has data up to 2021. So it stops at that point there. But it's a very interesting piece of software that you can ask it to do anything. It can write a piece of code. Honestly, I've been talking to all of my friends about this because it is mind-blowing what it can do, and I think it will be used more and more in the next couple of months and years. Things like this will be adopted heavily. It's frightening, but it's also very exciting to see what can be done. But let's take a look at this article. Although the metaverse is still a mostly unrealized concept, it is likely to be populated by AI entities that can interact with humans, making the metaverse more user-friendly, find and repair system bugs, and act as general caretakers. Recent years have seen giant steps forward in artificial intelligence research, and the emerge of products such as ChatGPT from the US AI company OpenAI are bringing AI technology to the masses. So in this article, we've looked at the potential roles of AI in the metaverse, as well as the threats AI may bring and how they could be circumvented. First, we introduced the concept of the metaverse and Web3. So we're looking at decentralization. We're looking at having that separate world in the metaverse. Now we can skip past all of that. I'm sure everybody here has a brief understanding of what the metaverse is and what Web3 is. Otherwise, I don't expect you to be looking at this video. But we are currently at 53 likes right now. My throat is getting worse. Hold on. Right, ready. So taking a look at this article to see what is going on. Let me get back, pull the chat back up so we can see what we are at. Currently, key roles for AI in the metaverse. Did I just skip a section? Yeah, AI advances. Released in December 22, the AI product ChatGPT has been described as the next Google, but rather than simply displaying lists of related search finds and software compiles the most relevant information using natural prose. Now, with ChatGPT, Jason's just put in the chat, I asked ChatGPT about when Crypto Saving Expert was launching. It said to ask Jess. I can't release that information. I think Jordan would kill me. I'm not the person that can release that information, but Jordan will be sharing that with everybody very, very soon, as well as we are all very, very excited to do so. It looks amazing, I have to say. It looks so good. Everybody has worked so hard on it for a very, very long time now, and it's come together really, really nicely. So it's really exciting to see, and it will be really exciting to see everybody's opinions on this, seeing how we can grow it further in different ways. But taking a look at this article, ChatGPT has been described as the next Google. I would say ChatGPT is really good. It is incredible, but some of the data you do need to fact check. It's not always 100% accurate, but you can't really complain when it brings so much information to you. The abilities of ChatGPT are nicely demonstrated in this TikTok video on researching the next big investment. ChatGPT is already being surpassed as the less robotic and more accurate Instruct GPT, which has better etiquette than interacting with humans, provides more truthful and relevant information, and is better able to follow instructions. So we're seeing Meta is creating an AI model that can learn new languages more easily with fewer data inputs and be used to translate hundreds of languages. Their universal speech translator will have the ability to interpret languages and translate in real time. So this is technology that could be used in the metaverse. And we can see here key roles for AI in the metaverse. AI and machine learning technologies are already well integrated into Web 2. Many websites employ chatbots to help users navigate websites, answer questions, book appointments, order deliveries, and even process refunds. Even now, it can be challenging to discern real people from chatbots. Such bot technology can be integrated into NFT avatars, which will act as guides, salespeople, and non-player characters in games. So we're seeing all of this technology come out. You can see further down in this article, all of this technology can be adopted into the metaverse massively. I know a lot of people fear the metaverse a little bit. It is quite intimidating to think that people may just be sat at home for 24 hours a day with some glasses on and be in a different world going to work and things like that. We're not really too far away from it now with all this work from home life. It's very exciting. It's very exciting for me to see these different technologies being produced and seeing just how amazing we can make these things. But it is also very, very petrifying that people it could become where people really don't even move from their homes most of the time. JB said, hit the likes to send your crypto portfolio to the moon. Yeah, if you hit the like button, there is a 50% chance that your portfolio will double in the next year. We are currently at 57 likes. Please make sure to hit like and subscribe. The like goal for today's video is 75 likes for today's video. We have one more article for today, and then we will go back to do a little bit more Bitcoin chart analysis, and then we'll close off today's video. But the last article is El Salvador draws close to launching its Bitcoin bonds with new digital asset law. On Wednesday, the Legislative Assembly passed the long-sought bill, which provides a legal framework for digital asset issuance in the country, and potentially the volcano Bitcoin bonds, according to local reports. The digital asset law will set the legal order that grants legal certainty to transfer operations with any title of digital assets that are used in the issuance of public offerings. It also seeks the creation of a commission to oversee the market and registry of crypto service providers. With the bill now passed, El Salvador is also allowed to establish a Bitcoin fund management agency that will administer, safekeep, and invest funds from public offerings of digital assets carried out by the state of El Salvador and its autonomous institutions. So El Salvador, I believe, was the first country to make Bitcoin a legal tender. I believe it was the first one or one of the first ones. So that means that anywhere in El Salvador, you can use Bitcoin to pay for a service or for an item. And now we're seeing them continue on with this. It hasn't been too well performing for them. Obviously, we've seen the big crash of 2022 since El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender. But hopefully, in the long term, this is a massive, massive win for El Salvador, and a lot more countries will follow in their footsteps. We've already seen it in a couple of other jurisdictions already. Jamie Moore has said you should get some TMG crypto saving expert hoodies, etc. made. I'll moonwalk around Tesco showing it off. They are coming soon, I believe, in the future. We have some t-shirts that we've given out to some fans on Twitter, but we have kept them within the company for now. That would be a question for Jordan in a future live stream, what's happening with those. Now let's go back to CoinMarketCap and see what's going on over here. So Bitcoin is at $18,200 and Ethereum is at $1,397. Just for those that weren't in the start of today's video, I have been looking at the RSI on the monthly chart for Bitcoin. You can see here we've zoomed all the way back to the 2015 bear market, and you can see these two green lines here, which I just want to check you can see them clearly on today's stream. It looks all good. You can see here this is the bottom of the bear market for both the two previous bear markets, and you can see that when the RSI crossed above its moving average, the bottom was already in for Bitcoin, and it looks like we are approaching that signal again. So this is signaling to me that the Bitcoin bottom is either in or will be in within the next couple of months. So this is looking at the time frames and saying that unless something goes drastically wrong and this purple line just falls off the face of the earth, and that is what I'm expecting, and I'm feeling like that is quite a reasonable scenario, my bottom for Bitcoin, if we haven't seen the bottom yet, is at $14,000 from this previous resistance back in 2019. Obviously, nothing is financial advice. I'm just showing my analysis because I spent so long analyzing these charts, but that is my opinion right now. We have seen this sort of double bottom here, so it's looking pretty good in the short term. But as I said at the start of this video, we have the CPI data coming out in 1 hour and a half. That'll be very interesting to see what's going to happen there. It's expected to be 6.5, as I said at the start. If it's lower than that, then we should see a move to the upside. If it is 6.5 or higher, then we may see a move to the downside. But any of these scenarios are going to create a huge amount of volatility. We see it over and over again, but that is what we are looking at today. So today is a very exciting day. If you are in the markets, just be careful, use low leverage, just keep an eye on it. Just at this, as I said in yesterday's live stream, today is not the day to put 10x leverage on and then just walk away from your computer. We're going to see volatility, so just be careful. And if you have enjoyed today's live stream, we are currently at 61 likes. The like goal was, we're at 62 likes. Thank you very much to everybody who has liked. If you've enjoyed these live streams, please make sure to subscribe. We do them every single morning, talking about the latest cryptocurrency news. We usually have that Martini guy on here as well. And if you want to be one of the first people to use the site, make sure to go here and press sign up and put in your email, and you will receive our newsletters every Tuesday at 11 a.m. as well, recapping the week. And we're just going to set you up brilliantly for the next bull run, which we are anticipating for 2024 and 2025. So it's going to be a very, very exciting time for us. And hopefully we hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But we will be here every single day until we do so. So that is all from me today. That's all the waffle I can give you. I will see you back here tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.